Thank you so much. First of all, I'm extremely sorry that I could not make it in person because that was my plan. The topic is very close to my heart, which is about circularity, recycling. Being the chairman of aftermarket for the country at ACMA, I've been working very hard since I think almost now 2 decades. We have been working on this topic, but fortunately, it is gaining momentum now, part of ESG, part of the agenda for Government of India as well. So personally, I'm very happy, and I must thank the you know and the whole team here that who could organize such an interesting topic, which is really end to end. We are talking about the low carbon and the climate change, specifically coming from the circularity or recycling. And as true to my luck that I joined also battery industry, which is actually an example that what we can learn from this industry. So whatever I'm going to talk to you now is more coming from the practitioner, as part of the industry, less from a book or less from any, I will say, media attention. Hardcore coming from the industry side, that what we face day in, day out, especially coming from the automotive segment and aftermarket. India did not have in past the scrappage policy, it did not have the inspection and certification regime, it did not have a lot of these regulatory framework which is helping this ecosystem now. And when I talk about aftermarket, what does it mean? So you all know that vehicles are manufactured by many OEM brands, and the moment a customer buy the vehicle, I call it from the cradle to the grave. This is what is called aftermarket industry, and I have been in this industry since almost now 26 years. Earlier with Bosch, and I built Hella from scratch in the country as a founder, managing director. What I have seen is this industry aftermarket, which I also call whole life of vehicle industry. And typically Indian, one great thing what we have as a country, because we are also falling into the low and middle income category of economy. The middle class is the prevalent class in the country, and the middle class actually, because of the upbringing, because of being in the middle, we always want to take maximum out of whatever we have, and this has always helped us to get more from less. So I cannot forget examples of every middle class family getting the toothpaste out till the last drop, using the shampoo even by putting the water inside. These are some of the practices which is philosophical, very similar to what we are talking here, fighting climate change with our habit, approach, and attitude. Because if the similar people comes in the leadership position in companies and in industry, they exactly do what they have done in their family upbringing, which is about the whole cyclic nature of our life and cyclic nature of our prosperity. This is what we have gained from the normal, teachings from our grandfathers and I'll say education. So same thing with me. When I started with aftermarket industry, we were quite looking at how we can
Hello. Hello.
one of the major challenges what we
Mr.
see is the standardization. Because if we are not able to standardize the
Mr.
needs
Pandey,
of the
sorry to
customers.
interrupt.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Can you just go a few minutes back? I think we had some connectivity issues. Sorry.
Oh, there. Okay, so I think few seconds only I lost because I heard about recording stopped. So what I was telling is, not from the academia perspective, but from the industry perspective. I must tell you that if there's a business case and there's a vision of the leadership, that's a winning example or a winning combination for us to succeed and lead. In fact, to be an example, India can be the example, and India will be the example on the world stage when it comes to less for, we get from more from less. We get the recyclability and the circularity attitude in the leadership of all the businesses. And since it already has a business case, every business house would like to extract as much as possible, because there is some kind of unorganized way, whether you call it kabari balas, you call it scrappage. Sometime it can be a mafia, sometime it can be organized network, but there is some kind of a jugaad in our country for recyclability. At least in aftermarket, I can see. Even in the battery industry, I can see. But at the same time, the same thing is also going against us. So the bigger challenge for us is how can we organize, standardize, and digitize this whole cycle so that consumers trust us and consumer finds it worthy enough to use the inspection and certification regime of the used parts. After the scrappage is done, the segregation is done, it comes back in the industry with a good certification. That the whole INC centers have to come. So there's a lot to do. The intent is quite clear, at least in the automotive aftermarket industry. I can see most of the leaders are very clear on this that they need to do it. But at the same time, at what cost? If you look at battery as an example, today roughly 23 crore children are lead poisoned. I don't know which industry is causing that, but battery industry also is using lead acid a lot because we are a lead acid dominated industry. And it is our responsibility then that we come forward and we do something about it. Tata, being a very community-oriented, company, a brand, from our side we are rethinking the whole business model around it, because today a lot of middlemen who are not making it business profitable to collect these batteries from across the country. So let's say if you have got a million, or let's say hypothetically we consider a lakh of good retailer where you go and buy the battery and you give your old battery there. One good thing is that everyone is able to submit their old battery. So this way, I think there's a big pick in our industry that the battery goes back to the retailer. But from that place to the smelting is needs to be highly organized compared to today. So there are some middlemen in between, and they make it not so business friendly for a smelter to invest into a state of the art a smelting unit, which can actually make it very sustainable, which can actually do in a good manner so that no drop of lead goes into the water table, into the food table. This is my dream personally also. And at Tata, we are willing to collaborate with any party or any stakeholder who can bring some more organized play in this. So the theme is, can we create a marketplace where people or the retailers can actually pitch in that what kind of old batteries they have, and we can just make it like a aggregator model, and the smelters actually get access. Because today the biggest problem with smelters is they don't have direct access, because they don't know which route they can go and pick up the battery, and still it makes business sense for them, still it makes profitable for them. And because of that, you have the aggregator at 2 or 3 levels. So we would like to kind of support this industry, support these smelters, those who are doing in a good way, and create this recycle as a ecosystem, create the marketplace for old battery to come in. And of course, we also have a lot of commercial incentives for retailers who are going to participate in this green channel. We also welcome other battery manufacturers, even our competitors, to participate in this, because this we want to do open innovation, not within the Tata Green Batteries ecosystem, but in the ecosystem of the whole country. We also want to extend this further then to other components and the other, not only hazardous but even non-hazardous, where we can visualize that what is coming from the customers, what is coming from the scrappage centers, and then it is put as a marketplace. Because if we make a business case for this, we being Indians from a low middle income country, I have the confidence and the belief that this will trickle to a kind of a movement, because it makes business sense. There's a money for somebody who is giving it. There's a money for somebody who is processing it. There's a money for somebody who is going to stand, some kind of certification for it, because the processing is done in a standardized manner. Somebody just certify, and then somebody who buys, he gets value for money. So it's a win-win-win-win for everyone. And it's a great story for government of India. It's a great story for our COP. It's a ESG story for our industry. So there is no brainer to tell that it's a benefit for everyone. So the question is, what is next step? Where do we start? While I was talking to you about what is possible, I can tell what we can contribute, and that's why I always talk about my own action from this discussion. What I'm doing now is, as Tata Green Battery, I'm willing, and we are willing to invite people to come together for this marketplace, be it from academia, be it from the industry, be it from the government side. We have also one Tata Group company called M Junction, who actually into the sustainability and recyclability and circularity. And I'm very proud of that company within the group, Tata Steel's subsidiary, who are actually doing fantastic job by again making more marketplaces, removing a lot of these intermediaries, removing the intransparency. And with that transparency, what we are trying to do at M Junction is to bring the seller of these scraps, the seller of these recyclable item with the buyers, and the buyers can be at different phases. So I would like to probably open up for questions now, whatever the audience and all of you have. Is this is my intent? This is what I want to do in the company, in the industry, and I find it that there will be takers because there is a win-win for everybody. That's why you can see behind me there's something called "Together We Win," because the second inning of Tata Green Battery, I don't know how many people know that Tata makes battery for everything. It competes with every battery manufacturer. We are actually building up the second inning for this company, and we want to build on this large theme, which is about recyclability. And that's why I'm very happy to join this forum. I want to continue this because this is also a personal dream for this company and also a good positioning for our value system, that we would like to support the whole circular economy, starting with batteries. And if it goes to the complete aftermarket, we are willing to give the support from the Tata aftermarket, Tata Auto Component aftermarket as well, wherever is needed, because there is no other way. You just imagine that. I don't know how much the battery industry is responsible, but at least we are participating with the lead recycling. And I just heard from Niti Ayog that 23 crore children are lead poison. I don't think we can leave it unattended. We have to do something about it. When it comes to fitness of the car or the two-wheeler, we have to do something about it. We just can't leave the unfit vehicles, because I don't know whether you know the figure. Roughly, 20% of the road accidents is caused by these substandard counterfeits. If you have organized recyclability, organized aftermarket, organized generic spare parts, and a very strong trained technician and workshop and the garages with a standard SOP, I think we will win this battle. Otherwise, in the simple jugaad method, which is not getting formalized, we might lose this battle, where it will still remain with the unorganized hands, with the with those middlemen people who, for a small money, does not see the long horizon of saving people. So many people die on roads because of the unfit vehicle, because the parts are not standardized, and they become almost like spurious or unorganized. So my sincere request, while I end up my first introduction to the topic, is we are willing. I feel believe that it's a win-win-win for everyone. We need to build narrative, and that's why I'm very supportive of this idea. What the today's conference is doing is to bring all these stakeholders together, let them do the matchmaking, and come up with some idea in the execution phase. So taking the action from the discussion, I'll be more than happy to get connected, and I'm open for any further deep dive questions so that I can spell out more in the interest of the whole audience and the conference. Thank you so much.